This is an example of an electric motor bike. There's a brushless DC motor in the center of the front wheel. We see more of the bike. There is the converter, and there is the battery, 36 volts. The 36 volts is converted by this converter to feed three-phase down these wires to this motor in the front wheel. These are two oscilloscope probes measuring line-to-line voltage driving the motor. These oscilloscope probes pass up to this oscilloscope shown, and the current is measured by a current probe attached to one of the phases here along the tube of the bike. This is a clip-on ammeter. And here we see a waveform, for example. The top green waveform is the current, and the bottom waveform is the voltage. The current is a six-step waveform. You can count the steps beginning, let's say, where the current green waveform rises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to complete the cycle. The purple waveform is the PWM of the voltage. I have the scope in save, so I will turn off the stop so it will run. Again, the scope will run, and hopefully it will trigger. So over here is the throttle right there. That's the throttle. So I push on the throttle. Let's see, I did not have it turned on. This is the on switch on the converter. I push on the throttle, the wheel goes around. The scope triggers on a high point of current. It's up near the top of that green waveform. So when I accelerate the wheel, the current goes way up, you can see. It triggers up high. And then when the wheel slows down, the current's too small to trigger. Now let's say we go up higher in speed. You can see the period is getting smaller. And the voltage waveform is basically a solid voltage, no longer PWM. As we lower the speed, it goes back into PWM range, as we can see there on the bottom purple waveform. And as we slow down, the trigger, let's go to push the trigger menu and go to auto. So it will trigger automatically, and then we'll push set to 50%, and then we can see things. This is a very low speed, so the current's small. Whenever I accelerate, the current jumps up, see that? And now I reduce the throttle to 0, I jump the throttle up, See how the current goes way up to accelerate the tire. So this is the idea. You can see the back EMF there. I'm taking my hand off the throttle, and that blue sine wave there is strictly the back EMF being generated by the motor, which has no current flowing into it. The motor has permanent magnets, so the permanent magnets generate that voltage in the winding. So there's a little display of an electric bike. This is one of the first videos I've ever taken, so it's not a very good one, I don't think. But maybe it gives you the idea.